This is the podcast overview for weeks 15 and 16 combined. This is the last content that you'll be getting for the class, so I've just combined the half week that we have, the week of the 16th week, I should say, with week 15. So finals start during week 16, but you have a little bit of class content first. So for these weeks, we will be covering chapter 14, which is all about heart disease, stroke, cancer, and AIDS. So these are a lot of big, heavy hitter, chronic diseases, some of them progressively chronic. And so now that you have a good understanding of the class as a whole and all the concepts we've been talking about all semester, now we can actually dive in and take a look at how that all applies to some of our biggest illnesses today. So here's your overview for the week. Got your chapter objectives here for chapter 14. You're also going to be reading 2 chapters this week and next week on the longevity project. So what you might want to do is read chapter 14, which is all about the toll of war and trauma and thriving. You might want to read that this week, and then next week in week 16 read chapter 15, which is an overall just kind of ending conclusion called Individual Paths to Health and Long Life. So that will do it for your reading. Your lecture slides are here. I have posted a video. It's a really good one. It's about HIV and AIDS, and it follows 6 individuals who all are living with HIV. It's a documentary, and it basically highlights the hardships of living with this disease, the ins and outs of it, and how each person is affected differently by the virus. We often think that HIV and AIDS, has a predictable course, and we know, how people are affected with it, but that's not true. That's a myth. People are affected very differently with HIV. Some respond very well to the medication regimen, some do not. Some, it attacks your immune system. So some, have strong immune systems and can kind of do well with it. And I use well lightly, but some do not at all. And from the get-go, they have a lot of trouble. So I think it'll give you a good sense of how the disease takes a toll on individuals, and as well how the medication regimen also is very difficult to adhere to. Your discussion for this week is here, and you have until the 13th to do your responses. Your original post is due the 11th, and so you're really talking about chapter 14, which is health-harming chronic stress, individuals who have experienced chronic long-term stressors. And it uses war and trauma as an example, mainly because the termites, if you recall, many of them were young, even kids and a little bit older during World War II. So they were very much a part of that. And then subsequent wars after that. So it looks at some of those aspects. It's really interesting, just the links between war and stress and how it impacts your health. And they liken war to the chronic stressors people face today, whether it be living in an abusive relationship, being exposed to any environmental stressors. These things can take a tremendous toll on our health. And they'll look at the links between depression and heart disease, how those two are very inextricably linked, and talk a little bit about what Dr. Friedman calls the disease-prone personality. All right, and then once you're done with your discussion, you'll be taking your very last exam, which is exam 4. it's not due until the 18th, so it gives you some time to really work through the material and be fully ready for that. The exam is not cumulative. It covers chapters 11, 12, 13, and 14. And it's the normal format that you are used to for the class. But that will wrap it up. I hope you all have a really good week. Please let me know as you're ending the content and the material. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer questions. Otherwise, you guys have been a great class online. Great discussions this semester. I really loved reading everybody's posts and really seeing how you're engaging with the material. And I'd hazard a guess that you guys learned a little bit, hopefully, this semester. So happy holidays to everybody and happy semester ending.